So I was busy rocking out, getting ready for the day, and then this happened. Just as I say every Wednesday, or my partner says with me, remember, you can save a bronzexual today. Why? Because we must stop idiocy like this. So, if you would be so kind, please make a donation to the cash apps that you will see on your screen. Host Cole Johnson or Tallman Dr. K50. So we can educate these bronzexuals, turn them into actual critical thinking fans, and stop the idiocy that we see. We now return you to irregularly scheduled programming, already in progress. Let's go.
On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This bronzexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Oh, yeah! Finally got it right after a couple of technical difficulties earlier this week. Good morning. Welcome to the absolutely wacky Wednesday edition of Snowman in the Morning. Glad to have y'all with us. And my partner, my executive producer, ain't got no sense. That's all I'm going to say. As I was talking to one of my associate producers, Victor Log, a.k.a. Vicala, this morning, I said to him, quote, I'm not going to tell you to be ready. I'm just going to tell you to beware. And when he heard that, his next response was, oh, no. A la Yosemite Sam from the cartoon Big House Bunny. Check out the end of that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. 11:06 is your time, and we're wasting time. Here's the Whip Around presented by Fanatics. Now, let me see. Where are we going to begin? Oh, yeah. Purdue went down. The supposed number one team in the nation in men's basketball, the Purdue Boilermakers, got beat by the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And I still want to know what a Cornhusker is. 88-72 is the final, which tells me something that I've known a while. When it comes to being the number one ranked team in the nation, the Purdue Boilermakers are frauds. They will always be frauds. They will never get better. Although I love Zach Edey. Don't get it twisted. I love Zach Edey. Let me get all this out the way. I love Zach Edey, but they're frauds. Period. And they'll never change. They'll never get better, even with March not so far away. Erik Spoelstra gets extended with a record 8-year, $120 million contract. He's going to retire the Miami Heat coach. He's going to do better than some of the other Heat coaches. Oh, boy. I got stuck saying Heat culture. Anyway, Erik Spoelstra gets a $120 million extension. Good. After 6 seasons, Mike Vrabel is fired. Wait a minute. I did that wrong. Do I have that over here? Nope. The Tennessee Titans, after 6 seasons, told Mike Vrabel, "You fired." And this is after a second straight season of not making the playoffs. You remember what happened last year? It carried over into this year. Bye-bye, Mike. Now, the question is, will he migrate east? Very interesting. Brian Daboll fired some people and Wink Martindale cursed them out. Giants culture in a nutshell. And until that changes, the team won't. Justin Houston and Bruce Irvin signed by the Miami Dolphins to add depth to the injured linebacker group, and it ain't going to matter because the Chiefs are going to run them over. Oh, did I say that aloud? To borrow from AB Media? Sorry. Now, Caitlin Clark, the runaway choice for the Women's Basketball Player of the Year. Tickets to see her are going for more than, you ready for this? $1,000. The reigning Player of the Year, who is just a few hundred points away from breaking the NCAA women's basketball scoring record, is the hottest ticket in town when the number 3 Iowa Hawkeyes come to visit. All but one road game at a Big Ten arena is sold out for the remainder of the season, and tickets on secondary market sites aren't exactly cheap. The sharpshooting supernova, who is all of that and then some, who was one of the nation's leaders in assists per game and is deadly in transition as both a passer and a scorer, South Carolina, hello, has helped lead an explosion in the popularity of women's basketball. Good. I'm happy. And I'm going to lend an assist to that. I'll tell you how, after we wrap this up, this has been the Whip Around presented by Fanatics. After the break, I'll tell you how I'm going to lend an assist to the explosion of women's basketball. Thank you, Caitlin Clark. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson, the Wacky Bronze Sexual Wednesday edition, and it continues after these here messages.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids from the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go f yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pistol 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying, but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Poppy J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Snowman of the Morning continues on this Wednesday, 14 after the hour. A few things to take care of here. If you like what you hear and what you see, you can help us by dropping a Cash App donation to $ Tallman Dr. K50 or $ host Cole Johnson. And this is how I'm going to contribute to the popularity of women's sports. I'm going to call a women's basketball game tonight. 7:30 is our pregame. 8 o'clock is the tip-off from Mackey Arena, as I will have the number 3 Iowa Hawkeyes and Caitlin Clark taking on the Purdue Boilermakers. Also, you can help support the Snowman Stadium Tour by going to GoFundMe.com/F/Snowman Stadium Tour. Want to raise a lot of money, not just for myself and my family, but for cancer patients as well. That's the biggest thing that I want to do. Take a chunk of money and donate it to cancer research, because if I can beat it, I know a lot of other people can beat it also. The return of the Brian Snow Show is this Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll have the Black Widow, Jessica Borga, to join me, and an artist known as Brownwind that will join me also. 2-hour interview style show coming back for its official first season. And I'm still putting interviews. I'm still putting interviews together. All right. Now, with that in mind, want to advertise with us? Drop an email to snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. That is snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com, or call 317-762-8567. That's 317-762-8567. Now, to the Fanatics feedback zone, and Big Teddy Bear 1100's the first one in. Good morning, says Victor Locke, my brother Snowman, and Teddy Bear 1000. Thank you for joining us. D. Scott says, yo, and a yo to you too, my man. Thanks for joining. Teddy Bear joins us from Washington State. All right. Now, got all that out of the way. We're going to rank the 14 quarterbacks that are remaining. Now, there are 4 that are making their playoff debut: Jordan Love, Mason Rudolph, C.J. Stroud, and Tua Tagovailoa. Who would have thought that Tua Tagovailoa would make his playoff debut? I originally said Tua needs to walk away. And the reason I said he needs to walk away, he took 3 concussions last year, one of which that curled his fingers. And I still say Tua should walk away. I mean, he had, doggone it, hold on a minute. My shoes are stuck. The another problem with Velcro. Sorry about this. Okay, there we go. I said last year that Tua should walk away. And the reason he should walk away, you take 3 concussions, you're going to have some problems. And there have been points this year where he hasn't looked right. And I mean that physically. He's always had, for me, he's always had an accuracy problem. All right. And there are a couple of games where he's got a great arm. Okay. He's got great skills. I'm never going to say otherwise. But he just hadn't looked right. He just hasn't looked right. Well, we'll see what happens when they go to Kansas City. And the same holds true for the other quarterbacks that are making their debut. I think CJ Stroud's going to have the best result. I really think CJ Stroud's going to have the best result. In the 10 spot is Lamar Jackson, 4 games in the playoffs. He's led the Ravens to the playoffs 3 times and has 1 win to show for it. 1. The 6-year veteran has a 55.9% completion rate, 68.3 passer rating, 900 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Ouch. Not good. Then you have Dak Prescott. Wise El Jefe, Wilfredo Otero. Hey, what's going on, Wise El Jefe? Thanks for joining. Then you got Dak Prescott. He's been 4 times and has never won a divisional round game, and he ain't winning one this year either. He is 2-4 as a playoff starter. His completion rate 63.3, passer rating 92.3, over 1,500 passing yards, 15 total touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Yeah, so. What's he done lately? Nothing? Okay, good answer. And I know Victor's going to hit me for this. Couple of big pieces of news are flying across my desk. I'll do some breaking news after the break. Baker Mayfield is in the 8th spot. 2 games. He's never played further than the divisional round. Mayfield has the best numbers. He also has the smallest sample size. He's 1-1 in the playoffs, 62% completion rate, and a 94 passer rating with 467 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Again, limited sample size. Very limited sample size. CJ DeSimone is with us. This is the only chance for Dak to prove that he can be the guy. I laugh at that statement because he's not the guy. In the 7th spot is Brock Purdy, and I think this is a correct assessment. He doesn't have much playoff experience either, but as a second-year quarterback, but he was very impressive last year in their run to the NFC Championship. He has 569 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 65.1 completion rate, and a 109.8 passer rating. Again, very small sample size, only 3 games. He played them all last year. And I'm doing this assessment. Honestly. You got Josh Allen with 8 games, has some of the most playoff experience of any quarterback in this year's playoffs. But he and the Bills have always fallen short of a Lombardi Trophy. That's the story of the Buffalo Bills. He's 4-4 in the playoffs and is yet to appear in a Super Bowl. Of course, in the 6th year out of Wyoming. 99.6 passer rating, 63.8 completion percentage. Then the top 5, Jared Goff, who has 6 games. He has a 79.9% passer rating, 57.4 completion rate, and has averaged fewer than 220 passing yards per game in the postseason. He has a 3-3 record in the playoffs. In front of him is Jalen Hurts. He has 4 games. He is one of 2 other quarterbacks in the playoff field who have played in a Super Bowl, though neither has a ring. 84.7% passer rating in 4 playoff games. Has a higher completion rate and strong contributions as well as a runner and a passer. And he has a 2-2 playoff record. Then you got the top 3. These are your Super Bowl winners. Matthew Stafford, the 35-year-old out of Georgia, won a Super Bowl title with the Rams. He's 4-3 as a playoff starter, but he has a 99.0 passer rating, 15 touchdowns in those 7 playoff games. Then you got the miracle story of the year, Joe Flacco, 15 playoff games. He's one of 3 in this year's playoffs with his Super Bowl ring. Just told you the other one. And one of 2 with the Super Bowl MVP award. The one who has 2 of them is right in front of him. He's 10-5 as a starter in the playoffs, with all of his previous experience coming as the Ravens starting signal caller. And you already know who's missing off this list and who the number 1 quarterback on this rating list is. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's been the Chiefs starting quarterback for 6 years. He's been to 3 Super Bowls, won 2 of them, has 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He has never lost a playoff game before the AFC Championship. Is this the year that will change? Let me go back to Tua for a moment. I don't think Tua will ever be ready for a true playoff run. And I mean that from a physical standpoint. I'll say it again, and I've said it 100 times, and I will say it 100 more times. He's not right physically. When you take 3 concussions in the same year, there's a problem, and he hasn't looked the same since then. He has not looked the same. The gifts are there, but they're waning. They're okay. I will say this honestly. The gifts are there for Tua, but they're eroding. And quite honestly, they've been eroding since he took a hip injury in a meaningless game at South Carolina while he was at Alabama. The concussions just didn't help matters also. One more good hit, and thank you, CJ, for this. One more good hit, and he's in a wheelchair for the remainder of his life. One good hit, and he's in a wheelchair. Some of the other quarterbacks on here, I already mentioned the 4 that are making their starting debut. Another one I want to concentrate on is Dak Prescott. Why? Because, well, let me say it simply. I have a lot of Cowboy fans chirping at me, saying this is the year for Dak Prescott. No, it's not. I mean, yeah, he has an offensive line in front of him, but who's he gonna give the ball to? I have asked this question all year. I've asked this all year. Who's he going to give the ball to? Where's his bell cow running back? Where's the running back that he can lean on? Where is his version of Christian McCaffrey? Or David Montgomery? Or Raheem Mostert? There's the advantage that Tua has that Dak doesn't have, a bell cow running back. Where is his James Cook? He has not gotten past the divisional round this time, and he won't get past the wild card round this time. I believe the Cowboys are one and done. Joe Flacco is the most interesting quarterback in this field. He was sitting on a couch when he got the call saying, "Help!" Well, he came in and helped. Big time. He came in and rode to the rescue. And I'm going to say this the way a popular YouTuber said it. He took $235 million of dead weight and guided them to the playoffs. Simple. Because Deshaun Watson isn't the answer. Dear God, Dorian Thompson-Robinson isn't the answer. Not to mention they've had to do all this with a load of injuries. I mean that. They had to do this with a load of injuries. Now David Njoku is in the playoffs. Cleveland has to go to Houston to play first-time starter C.J. Stroud, and there's a chance Cleveland could win that game. I'll have that one on Saturday. But Joe Flacco's got to be the most interesting quarterback in this playoff field. He brings a lot of experience that Deshaun Watson doesn't. This is a Renaissance type year. Thank you, CJ. Let me put this up. Flacco is having a Renaissance type season. He is. Now, how far can he take him is the question. And again, I go back to the running game. I don't want to say the absence thereof when it comes to Cleveland, but they're missing big parts of a running game. When you don't have Nick Chubb, and I was looking forward to seeing him in the playoffs. We'll have to see how that plays out. We would definitely have to see how that plays out. Then you got Patrick Mahomes, 11-3 in the postseason, has an NFL record 107.4 passer rating in the playoffs. He is obviously the best quarterback in this playoff field, but the Chiefs have a few missing parts. We like to call them receivers. We like to call them wide receivers and not hands of stone wide receivers. Kadarius Toney, I'm looking at you. CJ DeSimone again. I think that could go on an AFC championship, get to an AFC championship if they can get past Houston. And therein lies the puzzle. Getting past Houston. Getting past the Houston Texans, who they didn't back into the AFC South title. They charged into the AFC South title. They beat Indianapolis and Jacksonville. We didn't know what C.J. Stroud could do. I will be the first to admit out loud that I doubted C.J. Stroud. I mean, I flat said draft night, what the heck is he going to do for Houston? A lot. He's been the steadying quarterback. He's been the steadying force at quarterback that the Houston Texans have needed since Deshaun Watson and all the stuff that they put him through. Now he's got Deshaun Watson took all the fool's gold in Cleveland with the guarantee contract that is just going to be a cap hit after a cap hit after a cap hit, while Joe Flacco leads him to playoff after playoff after playoff. All right. You're talking about $250 million, $235 million of dead weight that Joe Flacco has to carry. Then you got C.J. Stroud playing as a rookie, playing out of his mind. And the Texans as a team are playing out of their minds. So the most experienced quarterback is Joe Flacco. The most accomplished quarterback in this field is Patrick Mahomes. But the quarterback with the most upside is C.J. Stroud. And he's making his playoff debut. I don't trust Jordan Love, though I want them to beat the Cowboys. I don't trust Matthew Stafford. Injuries answer that question. But there is a chance we beating the 49ers could see them in the divisional round. We'll have to see how the wild card round shapes up. And speaking of said wild card round, it's Cleveland and Houston that will kick off the wild card round this Saturday at 4:30. Here's the schedule right here, and I'm looking at this graphic, and I may have to steal it. Let's take a look at the playoff matchups. Lost my place for a moment. The Browns and Texans will kick off the playoff round. Will kick off the wild card round. That's at 4:30 on NBC. The winner of this game will go to Baltimore. Then you have the Dolphins and the Chiefs. We'll do our picks on Friday. Then you have the Dolphins and Chiefs, 8 o'clock exclusively on Peacock. Sunday begins at 1 p.m. The Steelers and the Bills, and I'm not going to even tell you the spread of that game. It's crazy. The upset I'm looking for is in Dallas. I didn't think Jordan Love would put it together, but he put it together, and I hope he puts it together and beats the Cowboys in Dallas. I said it aloud, and I will continue to say it aloud. Of course, the most intriguing matchup, Rams and Lions. Matthew Stafford returning to Detroit. Jared Goff hosting a playoff game. And I believe this is the Lions' first playoff game at home since 1993 when they lost to the Packers. On a miracle pass from Brett Favre to, let me see if my memory serves me correct, I believe Sterling Sharp caught the game-winning touchdown. I believe it was Sterling Sharp caught the game-winning touchdown. CJ DeSimone again. If it wasn't for the fact that KC is playing Miami, the Chiefs would be one and done. And I agree. There are too many missing pieces on the Kansas City Chiefs. The defending Super Bowl champions have a lot of trouble on their hands. The Monday night game are the Eagles and the Buccaneers, but who's really going to watch that game? Who's really going to watch that? Certainly not me. I will be asleep, taking a nap before I have to take my daughter to work. All right, let's pause for another break. When you all get back, the final coaches poll has been released. Michigan is up top. Who's behind him? We'll go through the entire poll, and I'll offer my thoughts. Snowman of the Morning continues after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
And ever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast, every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason.
Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pistol 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube. Cause we take this job so serious.
The is that? Sorry, pardon me. My apologies.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson.
And to think he said that with a straight face. The incomparable wise El Jefe. Well, I'll say it again. To think he said that with a straight face. He did. 38 after the hour. A little bit of an extended break. Thank you all for being patient with me. Want to advertise with us? Drop an email to snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. That is snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. Or give a call to 317-762-8567. That's 317-762-8567. The final U.S. LBM coaches poll is out. And there's no question who the number one team is. That team is the Michigan Wolverines. After they finished, the only undefeated team left, say Florida State, and we all know how that turned out. Matter of fact, let's just go from 25 to 1, shall we? Seriously, Larry is in the house with us. Skull to you, Larry. Thanks for joining. And Larry, I have an update for you and a couple other people that tuned in to my quick live yesterday when I was at the hospital. I'll tell you about that later. 25 through 21 goes West Virginia at 9, who finished at 9-4. SMU finished at 11-3. Kansas also finished at 9-4. They're at 23. 22 is Iowa at 10-4. And then North Carolina State at 9-4 at 21. 20 is Clemson, finished at 9-4. Kansas State also 9-4 at 19. Louisville at 18, who lost to Florida State in the ACC championship game. 17 is Tennessee. They were ranked a lot higher in the preseason poll. 16 is Oklahoma State at 10-4. 15, Oklahoma at 10-3. Notre Dame at 14, also 10-3. Penn State at 13, also 10-3. LSU at 12 at 10-3. The number 11 team, the Arizona Wildcats, who finished at 10-3 on the year. Your top 10 go like this. At 10 is Ohio State at 11-2. 9 is Ole Miss at 11-2. 8 is Missouri at 11-2. So Missouri and Arizona both making their way into the poll. At 7 is Oregon at 12-2. Florida State 13-1 as they got boat raced by Georgia 63-3 in the Orange Bowl. 5 is Alabama at 12-2. Texas at 4 at 12-2. Georgia at 13-1. The one loss was to Alabama. Washington at 2, 14-1, and at 15-0, getting all 63 votes in a unanimous number one, the national champion Michigan Wolverines. Now, I have a question for those of you who follow college football as intensely as I do, do you think Georgia should have been in, well, actually 2 questions. Let me pose 2 questions. Number 1, should Georgia have been in the college football playoff? And secondly, do they deserve a spot in the top 5 after they lost in the SEC championship game? I'll answer those very definitively. Yes to both. Yes to both. I would give them a vote before I would have given Florida State a vote. Because who the hell did Florida State play? Alabama deserved to get in because they knocked off Georgia, who had a 29 game winning streak. And I'll answer Brandon Dyer's question. To replace who? I would probably say Texas. It's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. And I always feel, this is just one man's opinion and one man's feeling, that if a team like Georgia, who lost in their conference championship game but beat everybody else, they should have a shot. They're the defending champs. I always feel the champs, unless they lose 2 in a year, should have a chance to defend their title. And Georgia didn't lose until the SEC championship game. So the team for me that would have been out of outs would have been Texas. Though you couldn't move Washington out of the top 4. They beat Oregon twice. Once in the regular season, 36-33, and both games were decided by 3 points. 36-33 in the regular season in Seattle, and then in Las Vegas in the Pac-12 championship, 34-31. So you can't kick Washington out. You sure as hell couldn't kick Michigan out because they kicked the out of everybody else. So for me, the shaky team that got in that may have been left out had I had a vote in the poll would have been Texas. Though Texas did win the Big 12 championship. So yeah, I say yes to both questions. They deserve a spot in the top 5. And they definitely deserved a spot in the Final 4. Too many good deserving teams this season. Glad we're expanding it. I am too. But here's my complaint about the college football playoff. You should have started at 8. I'm glad they're expanding it from 4 to 12. But there are still some teams that are going to get left out. And to Florida State, now that the field is expanding, you have a chance to get in. Do something with it. Should you repeat the season that you had this year? That's should you repeat it. So if we look at the top 12 right now, let's do this. Let's look at the top 12 right now. 12-1, LSU, Arizona, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Missouri, Oregon, Florida State, Bama, Texas, Georgia, Washington, and of course, Michigan. Those are your 12 teams that get in. All right? And while I'm asking questions, should they hold the first round of the playoffs on campus? Good thing Super Bowl isn't decided by a vote. Ain't that the truth? And from what we're looking at right now, college football isn't either. Although college basketball got it right with 64 teams and you're one and done. What are y'all's thoughts on a 12-team playoff? Should they have started with 8? Should they have gone to just 8 from 4? Or is this a good jump from 4 to 12? The conference realignment is crazy right now. All right? The conference realignment is crazy. Now, while I'm looking at this from CBS Sports, CBSSports.com provided a look into the 2024 college football playoff matchups. Now, these are predictions that I'm reading from CBSSports.com. All right. Here we go. The way they look at it is this. and the higher seed team would host. 9 and 8 go Utah at Notre Dame. The winner advances to play top-seeded Georgia. 12 and 5 go Boise State at Texas. The winner, the top 4 teams get a bye. I should have said this. Should have said the top 4 teams get a bye. Should have said that first. And now I'm going to have to put my glasses on so I can read this. Utah and Notre Dame, with the winner playing top-seeded Georgia at Georgia. Boise State at Texas, with the winner playing Oklahoma State. Tulane at Alabama, with the winner advancing to play number 3 Clemson. And Ole Miss at Washington to play number 2 Michigan. The predicted 12-team college football playoff field for 2024, SEC champion is Georgia. Big Ten champion is Michigan. ACC champion Clemson. Big 12 champion Oklahoma State. At large is Texas, Bama, Washington, Notre Dame, Utah, Ole Miss, Tulane, and Boise State. Now we'll just have to see which bowls are in play. Now we just have to see which bowls are in play. But I'll ask a question again. I know you want to put the bowls in play, the big ones, but should the next round of games after this first round here, what do you all think? Should the next round of games be on campus? You know what? I'm going to say yes. It's the lure. It's the draw. It's the, what is the word I'm looking for? Ambiance. It's the ambiance of having playoff games on campus. They do it in Division I AA and Division II and Division III all the way to the championship game. And congratulations to South Dakota State. Congratulations to South Dakota State for winning this year's national 1AA national championship. But shouldn't these games be on campus all the way to the national championship game? And then you pick one site and then you all the way to the semifinals. Okay, let's do it that way. All the way to the semifinals. And then after the semifinals, you put them in 2 prestigious bowls, let the schools benefit instead of the Monarchs. Absolutely. Let the schools benefit. Now let's look at how the playoff will work. Okay. The lower seed has the opportunity to select the host venue during the first round. Bowl games will be introduced in the quarterfinal round. So we got to wait until the quarterfinal round anyway. Hey, the bowl games will be introduced in the quarterfinal round. The semifinals will be played in bowls on a rotating basis, while the national championship host site is determined through bids by prospective host sites. Here's what the 12-team site would look this year. On Sunday, December 3rd, and I'm reading this from NCAA.com. Give credit where credit's due. The CFP selection committee released the final set of rankings for the 23-24 season. Michigan, Washington, Texas, Alabama comprise the top 4 that'll compete in the playoff before the expanded format is introduced. Utilizing the respective rankings, here, let's project what the 12-team bracket would look like for the 23-24 season. All right. Here's what NCAA.com has. 12-5 will go Liberty at 12 at number 5 Florida State. 11 Ole Miss at number 6 Georgia. Number 10 Penn State at number 7 Ohio State. Number 10 Penn State at number 7 Ohio State. Number 9 Missouri at number 8 Oregon. The quarterfinals will go Fiesta Bowl, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, and Sugar Bowl. Semifinals go Cotton Bowl and Orange Bowl. Yikes. The first round for 2024 will go December 20th and 21st, so we get some Christmas fun. The quarterfinals will be December 31st. The Fiesta Bowl will be played December 31st. The Peach and the Rose Bowl, the Peach and the Sugar Bowl in the quarterfinals go January 1st. The semifinals go January 9th and 10th, Orange Bowl and Cotton Bowl, and the national championship will go January 20th in Atlanta. So the college football season will end a week before championship weekend in the NFL. Let me say that again. A week before championship weekend in the NFL, the week of January 27th, Atlanta will decide its national champion. Better record should get you a home game. I agree. This is all speculation right now. This is pure, unadulterated, what the heck are we doing kind of speculation. Let's look at 2025. The first round will be December 19th and 20th, and that's on the side of the higher seed. The Cotton Bowl has the quarterfinals on December 31st. Orange and Sugar Bowls, January 1st. That's the quarterfinals. Fiesta Bowl, January 8th. Peach Bowl, January 9th. And Miami hosts the national championship on January 19th. So they'll allow 10 days. And these are the next, seriously, Larry, these are the next 2 years. These are the next 2 years. So Atlanta gets a chance to host the national championship on January 20th. And Miami goes next year. And I'll be doggone if I'm not in Atlanta for said national championship. Who am I kidding? I'll be doggone if I'm not on one of the campus sites or one of the bowl sites live. It's a new year, and snowmanmultimedia.com has been reset, reloaded, and all kinds of good stuff. So all I will say is let's go get them. All right? And we need you fans to really, really help us out. Let me thank the fans first and foremost for making Snowman Multimedia a 1,000 subscriber YouTube page. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit that subscribe button and that like button and spread the word to everybody. Thanks to those while watching on Facebook and Twitch and all of our other outlets. We appreciate you so very much. Want to advertise with us? Because we're getting advertisements the old-fashioned way. Drop an email to snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. That is snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. And don't forget, the Brian Snow Show returns January 15th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. A pause for a break, and then a question of the day, a couple of more advertisements, and you all know what the second half of the show is. Back in 2 minutes.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the Four Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
I keep forgetting to push that button. Coming up on the noon hour, and we got a second hour of Snowman in the morning ready for you. But we have a question of the day, and it's presented by Fanatics, and it goes like this. What stadium, past or present, would you have loved to take in a game? That's our Fanatics question of the day. What stadium, past or present, would you have loved to take in a game? I'll tell you where, well, you already know my answer, Candlestick Park. I had a chance to go by it, but I never had a chance to go in it. I do, howsoever, am going to take a chance to get into Levi's Stadium in the very near future. So that's our question of the day. What stadium, past or present, would you have loved to have taken in a game or take in a game? Past or present? Let the answers flow. Our question of the day presented by Fanatics, officially licensed everything. And there's a new place where you can check out all the Fanatics gear, snowmanmultimedia.com/fanatics. We'll get everything updated. We got another break. And when y'all come back, it's Wednesday. So you know what happens. Snowman in the morning, hour 2 after this.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
If you talk and they will hear you.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk, they hear you. You can do it if you try.
He was only 58 years old when he passed away. That outcome could have been different.
Colorado happens to be one of the worst states for radon levels.
It's in our ground, and it seeps up.
The more you breathe radon, the more chance you have of DNA being hit and the cell mutated. The EPA estimates 22,000 lung cancer deaths a year caused by radon.
We all make choices. When it comes to alcohol, kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye.
Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Have fun. Hey, have a seat for a second. Remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. They want guidance and honest answers to their questions. And it makes a difference when the message is consistent and part of everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Hour 2 is here, and it's on a Wednesday. And I warned one of my best friends come here, the one and only I told him not to be ready, but beware. Oh, brother. Because my executive producer has no doggone sense. None whatsoever. Hey, I'm doing good. I haven't cussed yet. However, since this is Wednesday, that may change. Because yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen. And of course, there's this.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. Real LJPM, now approve all this.
Dear God in heaven, let's go.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Well, let's just get to it, shall we? LeBron thought he added to his legacy with another big shot on his 39th birthday. The NBA's Replay Center had a different view. Put your glasses on, Brian. Dang it. Yeah, had a different view, causing James to call out the league's replay process. Oh, dear. James made what he believed was a game-tying three-pointer with 3.3 seconds remaining as the Lakers were playing on the road against the Minnesota Timberwolves, the top team in the Western Conference. However, it was ruled a 2 and upheld via replay from the league's replay center in Secaucus, New Jersey. And the Lakers lost 108-106 on Saturday night, which caused LeBron to go completely off the rails and completely off and say, quote, "It's obviously a 3. My foot is behind the line. I mean, you can see the space between the front of my foot and the 3-point line. You can clearly see the wood on the floor. There's space in between the front of my foot and the 3-point line. So, you know, Stevie Wonder can see that, champ. Close Didn't do it right. Close quote. Well, they didn't see it that way, LeBron. Your foot was on the line. Okay? Let me say that again for those of y'all in the cheap seats at the old Forum. Your foot was on the line. Not behind it, on it. Which constitutes that being a 2-point goal instead of a 3-point goal. You didn't make a 3. You made a 2, but you didn't make a 3. So you don't get that to add to your so-called legacy. And yeah, I still say it to this day. So-called. When you don't know the rules of the sport you have played for 21 years and where your foot is and your placement and things like that, you don't play basketball correctly. And I'm not ashamed to say that. I've watched a lot of basketball games in many different levels, and I've seen closer calls than that. I've seen closer calls than that, LeBron. Your foot was not behind the line, which led to this. I had a conversation with a bronze sexual. Dear God in heaven, I want my brain cells back. Who argued me up and down that the shot was good. Let me repeat that. He argued me up and down that the shot was good. Where is it? Like I said, he argued me up and down that let me say it again. He argued me up and down that the shot was good. To wit, all I have to say to him is, "You fool!" That wasn't the question. The question was whether if it was a 2-point goal or a 3-point goal, not if the shot was good or not. Which again, I say to this bronze sexual, "You fool!" And got me up. So when he finally decided to respond to me and tried to show me that his foot was behind the line and I had a clear shot of his foot being on the line, I told him this.
Stop it. Get some help.
Never heard from him again. Unfortunately, that conversation ended and it led to another conversation with a bronze sexual who tried to make the same argument. I just looked at this bronze sexual and told him,
I don't remember asking you a thing.
And got him out of my face. The shot was good. I'll never forget that bronze sexual looking me dead in the face saying, "You can clearly see the shot was good."
I'm getting too old for this.
English, do you speak it?
Once again,
English, do you speak it?
who was actually questioning that the goal was actually good? Who was actually questioning that the shot left his hands in time? Who was actually questioning that he had time to spare when he let the shot go? But Bishop Bullwinkle, was it a 3-point field goal?
Woo! Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
Once again, Bishop Bullwinkle, was that a 3-point field goal?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no.
And yet LeBron wanted to argue that it was a 3 instead of a 2, which prompts this question.
Why the you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my gosh. Stop lying.
Which led to a 108-106 result, which means LeBron took yet another
You for real?
Bitch, are you for real?
So to put this argument to rest, LeBron made a 2, not a 3. In other words,
Shut up, bitch.
again, if you didn't hear me, LeBron, let me say it again about your argument.
Shut up, bitch.
Now, I am going to warn everyone that I am going to put a couple of quarters in the swear jar. And I'm going to say, get the heck out of my face, you thirsty heifers.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of the Bronsexual Confessions.
I couldn't do it. I just simply couldn't do it. I just simply couldn't do it. Oh, Lord. And that's only the first one. And, Victor, this happened when I signed in this morning. Caramba. Back in a flash.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the Bronze God.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the 4 Horsemen of Peckham's. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister? How do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
The best and most popular sports radio show continues, and this one returns. January 15th, 4 p.m., The Brian Snow Show is back, and Jessica Borga will pop the cherry on our official first season. Why don't you advertise with us if you find the content interesting? snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. That is snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com. And tonight, Iowa at Purdue, Mackey Arena, 14,240 will be there. I'm going to be there virtually with a 7:30 start time with our stream and an 8:05 tip-off from Mackey Arena. Now, with all that out of the way, here we go again.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
Yeah. Let me show you one of the gems that my partner, Cole Johnson, sent to me this morning. And it's this. And Cole Johnson's response is perfect. No LeBron hater post, huh? I wonder why. First of all, spell LeBron correctly, you fool. And secondly, Cole Johnson said it best. More important things are happening in sports, like the NFL playoffs, perhaps. Oh, excuse me. Whew. That one came out of nowhere. Sorry about that. LeBron James gave a blunt assessment of the Lakers following their Friday night loss to the Grizz. And it's beautiful, it's blunt, and it's legendary. Quote, "We just suck right now." Close quote. Duh! And now this.
So I realized that I think, even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it. It's like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, and all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating, high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Vámonos, dominos, vámonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates magna cum stupid.
This is the part where I have fun. LeBron, you know what? We're going to make a double play out of this. And I think Victor's going to enjoy it. LeBron James, sit down. I want you, LeBron James, and you Bronzexuals to listen to me very carefully while I say this sentence slowly. LeBron, the failure of the Lakers since you've been there is your mess and your fault. Because you don't want to play with anybody. You want to force everybody to play with you. You want everybody to capitulate to your needs as a basketball player. You want everybody to capitulate to what you want to do on the floor instead of you having the gumption, I'd say it another way, but I don't want to get in trouble, to being coached. You know, the greatest players in the world, of which you're not one, were always coached. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, Tom Chambers, Kevin Johnson. I could go Patrick Ewing. I could go on and on and on and on and on. The best basketball players love being coached. Not throwing a tantrum saying we don't need a coach. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Kyrie Irving. No, that's LeBron too, because he was flashing that attitude when he got into the league. Listen, LeBron James, I've said this for 20 years, and I'm going to say it right here. You suck as a basketball player. The mess that you created in Cleveland, Miami, and Los Angeles is your mess and your fault. Because you don't know how to play basketball correctly. You've gotten by on being a bull in a china shop and walking your tail off down the lane 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps, 6 steps, and no referee having the gumption to call anything on you. That is what you have gotten away with. You don't have a jump shot. You ain't got a fade away. You can't hit free throws in the clutch. You were granted a stimulus package the size of the city of Cleveland itself, and I got something to say about that later. You were granted a stimulus package the size of the state of Ohio to win a championship for Cleveland. What have you done since then? Not a dadgum thing. And I'm not counting the COVID championship. I'm not counting the COVID invitational. Thank you, Chris Dietz. I'm not counting the COVID invitational. I got no reason to count the COVID invitational. But these bronzexuals will look at me and go, but it counts. They won a championship. Really? One place. Okay? Not having the difficulty of going on the road. You know, you're talking about being away from family. You know, understand that that was a special situation. Okay? And you'll never get that chance again. The last time you made it to the Western Conference Finals, which was last year, you got spanked by the Denver Nuggets, the world champion Denver Nuggets. And you ain't making the playoffs this year. I said that last year, and it came back to bite me in the rear end. But I'll say it again this year. You ain't making the playoffs because y'all don't have anything. Okay? You won your championship. You won the in-season tournament. You hung a doggone banner and disgraced the Staples Center. I said it. You disgraced the Staples Center by hanging that doggone banner. I'll say it a third time. You disgraced the Staples Center and everybody that came to the Staples Center and everybody that came to the Forum back in the day by hanging a banner of the in-season tournament championship. A tournament that should not be conceived, that should not have been conceived, should not have been executed, and just part of the 82-game schedule. Oh, by the way, you've only played 82 games once in your career. Who'd want to worship that? Who'd want to look up to a player that's only played 82 games once in their career? All right? Who'd want to look at, well, you know what you're the king of, LeBron James? Load management. Yeah, take that. Take that. All you've done is load manage your way through a 21-year career, and if I had to vote, I wouldn't vote you in the Hall of Fame. But you're going to get in because of popularity, and I dig that. Okay? I absolutely understand that. You're popular with a lot of people. You ain't popular with me. When you're spoiled by everyone from Magic Johnson to Michael Jordan and everybody in that era, Larry Bird, Bernard King, when you're spoiled by that kind of greatness, nothing else works. And you ain't working. By the way, are we going to talk about that foot injury you supposedly had last year, and then you show up in Phoenix, Arizona for the Super Bowl dancing your head off? Nobody wants to talk about that, do they? Everybody wants to sweep that under the rug. Had I been commissioner and I saw that, you'd have been suspended for 10 games. Get out. No pay. Beat it. Tell your story walking. Thank you to Accountable Commentary for that line. Yeah, but tell your story walking. All right? Tell your story walking. You understand that? Tell your story walking. which is all you seem to do when you drive down the lane anyway, or when you play basketball anyway. You can't even do a hesitation dribble correctly. Crab dribble? What in the world is that? What in the world is that? You've been doing that since St. Vincent St. Mary. You've been doing that since you met Sharon Reed. Oops, did I say that aloud? And to think when you got introduced, your wife decided to say the greatest player of all time. Man, you're not even top 250 in my book. I had someone challenge me. You can't name 250 players better. Oh, yes, I can. With what I've seen over the years, oh, yes, I can. And by the way, to a certain bronze sexual that we all both know, that we all know and love, no, change that. To a certain bronze sexual that used to invade this program, Tom Chambers is still a better forward than LeBron James is, because Tom Chambers is fundamentally sound. Bernard King is fundamentally sound. Adrian Dantley is fundamentally sound. Dominique Wilkins was fundamentally sound. Oh, and to Rob Johnson, one of my dear friends, I still say Adrian Dantley is a better fundamentally sound, is a more fundamentally sound forward than LeBron James is. Period. Xavier McDaniel, Derek McKee, Chris Mullen, Detlef Schrempf. Any of those names sound familiar? Huh? Bobby Jones, Julius Erving, Buck Williams. And it was Buck Williams who I said that was better than LeBron. I'm sorry. It was Buck Williams who I said. Buck Williams, man. Buck Williams would run circles around LeBron James all damn day. I said, damn, I'm sorry. Quarter in the swear jar. Jerome Kersey would run circles around LeBron James all darn day. Okay? How do you like them apples? Kurt Rambis would beat up LeBron James to a bloody pulp all darn day. And all LeBron would have, and all LeBron could do was cry. I mean, he got locked down by Draymond Green, for God's sakes. And yet they decided to suspend Draymond Green for one game that cost the Warriors the championship because the NBA had no gumption to suspend LeBron James also. If you want to look at the rules, if Draymond Green had to go, then LeBron had to go too. Fools. You got locked up by Andre Iguodala, for God's sakes. Defensive stalwart? And then your assessment, we just suck right now. They've sucked since you've been there. Okay? Let me say that again, loudly. The Lakers have sucked and have been ruined since you got there. Capiche? The Lakers have sucked. The Lakers have chunks. They cannot play basketball correctly. They never will get back to playing winning basketball. And I will say it again as I started this by saying the following. It is your mess, LeBron James, and your fault. You got these bronze sexuals believing that you're actually a good player. Quit telling that lie. You've sucked since St. Vincent St. Mary. And you bronze sexuals are worse. Propping up a guy that doesn't need to be propped up. Propping up a guy that doesn't play basketball correctly. Propping up a guy that prompts people to write this. Though the response by Cole Johnson was amazing. In short, LeBron, you created this mess 21 years ago. Remember when Hulkamania got here? You got bronze sexual mania. And these bronze sexuals keep chirping and whining and moaning and trying to provide reasons of why LeBron is the best player in history. Because he has a scoring record? No. I'll borrow from the sports pope himself. His name is Mike Francesa. When he said, quote, when talking about Tom Brady, okay? I'll borrow from this. When he said, quote, he's not the best regular season quarterback, Peyton Manning was. He's not the best Super Bowl quarterback who ever lived, Joe Montana is. Close quote. I'll borrow from that, and I am taking it from my experience only, because I started watching basketball in 1980. But even in 1980, I've seen better basketball than what you have displayed for 21 years. You're not the best regular season player, Tom Chambers was. You're not the best NBA Finals player, Michael Jordan was. I know I'm stretching a little bit with Tom Chambers. Listen, the best regular season forward, I can give you quite a few of them. Oh, by the way, they all played in the finals. 2. Matter of fact, Michael Jordan was the best regular season player there ever was, from my experience, and the best NBA Finals player there ever was. Period. Either way, Bronsexuals and LeBron James, it ain't you. And it ain't Yo King. God, there goes my voice. Now get the heck out of my face, you thirsty.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Bronsexual Confessions.
Victor Locke, I hope it done you proud. Back after this.
Everything Boston. I love you morons. You Kids from the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the Bronze God.
And ever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can be the black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel. Ready to hang with some fellas who know football? Let's ride. LC Muscles 28.
I think they're the most overrated defense in the league.
Steel Sermon.
We did not trail for a single second.
Tiny Tim.
McCarthy is a bonehead.
A Pizzle 90.
I'm going with my boys. Fins up, baby.
Get ready for the 4 Horsemen of Pick'ems. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central on YouTube.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. Want to advertise with us? Drop an email to snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com or call 317-762-8567. That's 317-762-8567. Iowa at Purdue tonight in women's basketball. Yes, I am taking a shot at women's basketball tonight. And tomorrow, I got a hockey game that I'm going to do also. I believe I can look in my book right here. It's the New Jersey Devils and the Tampa Bay Lightning. I originally had scheduled for the Timberwolves and the Celtics to broadcast tonight, but when I saw Caitlin Clark, I figured I'd take a shot. So that's the game tonight. Iowa at Purdue from Mackey Arena in West Lafayette, Indiana. 7:30 is the start time. 8:05 is the tip. And on Saturday, Browns at Texans. The playoffs start there. 4 p.m. for our fan chat, and 4:30 is the kickoff from Houston. Well, let's see. We got the first one out of the way. We got the second one out of the way. Couple pieces of news. Connor Bedard will be out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken jaw. The fabulous rookie of the Chicago Blackhawks, an odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year, took a legal hit against the New Jersey Devils and will be out 6 to 8 weeks with a broken jaw. And unfortunately for the Chicago Bears, Matt Eberflus will be their coach for another year. That's your breaking news presented by Fanatics. Don't forget tonight, Abby Ellis versus Caitlin Clark, Iowa versus Purdue from Mackey Arena. Why am I so excited to do that game? I don't know. All right, one more thing to do. Because yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. I didn't do that right. Try again. Yes, LeBron, it is you. It has always been you. It always will be you. Forever and ever. Amen. Now let's go.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronzexual Confessions.
So y'all know my partner's a fool, right? Y'all know my partner is an absolute fool. He ain't got a lick of sense, and yet I love him dearly for it. I'm almost afraid to do this one. I have to be real. I'm almost afraid to do this one because it's going to elicit a lot of laughter from some people I know and love dearly. But given that fact, I'll do it anyway. Y'all see this? This is what my partner titled A Bronzexual on Overload. Now, I'm going to leave this up and I'm going to read this in this entirety before we get to the meat of what we're trying to do here. Okay. This thing that you see and that I'm about to read, for those of you listening on the radio, said, quote, "Boy, oh boy, where do I even begin, LeBron? Honey, my Pookie Bear, period. I have loved you ever since I first laid eyes on you. Period. Let's just stop right there. No, let's keep going. The way you drive into the paint and strike fear into your enemy's eyes. Jesus. Your silky smooth touch around the rim and that gorgeous jump shot. Y'all hear this? I would do anything for you. I wish it were possible to freeze time so I would never have to watch you retire. You had a rough childhood, but you never gave up hope. You are even amazing off the court. You're a great husband and father. Sometimes, oh dear Lord. Sometimes I even call you daddy. I forever weep thinking of the day you will one day retire. I would sacrifice my own life. It were the only thing that could put a smile on your beautiful face. I'm reading this verbatim, kids. You have given me so much joy and heartbreak over the years. Finally, some truth. I remember when you first left Cleveland, it's like my heart got broken into a million pieces. But still a tear fell from my right eye when I watched you win your first ring in Miami, because deep down my glorious king deserved it. Once again, I am reading this verbatim. I just wanted you to return home. Then, alas, you did. My sweet baby boy came home, and I rejoiced. Dear Lord. 2015 was a hard year for us, baby, but in 2016, you made history happen. You came back from a 3-1 deficit, and I couldn't believe it. And I have a few things to say about that in a minute. I was crying, bawling even, when I heard my glorious king exclaim these words. Cleveland, this is for you. Not only have you changed the game of basketball and the world. Close quote. You can't make this up. Matter of fact, this is necessary.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-KANG. Real LJPM, now approve all this.
This is necessary as well.
So I realized that I think, even though it's not advertised,
right,
there has to be a place for stupid people. We don't know because we're not stupid, so we don't know anything about it. It's like a secret club society.
Oh my gosh.
So I come to the conclusion that he graduated from SU, stupid university. Yeah, and all the stupid ass letters that go along with graduating high honors of being stupid. I can't do no more, man.
Vámonos, dominos, vámonos. Stupid university, where everyone graduates magna cum stupid.
I couple that with a selection from the Wonderberry Choir entitled Please Get Off His Jock. Dear God. I only read 2 sentences of this and I'm already about to throw up. This is disgusting. No, that person is beyond hooked on Bronix. That person has been on Bronbo for too long. Thank you, Victor, for all of that. and my partner decided to pose a question. And the question that he posed to Bronsexuals, what is more... Here, let me bring this up too. What is more important for Cleveland? A Flacco Super Bowl or when LeBron won the championship? Well, first of all, the NBA helped LeBron cheat his way to that NBA championship in 2016 because it shouldn't have happened because the Warriors were busy putting a foot in his rear end. And then they decide to suspend Draymond Green for what should have been the clincher because LeBron dry snitched, to use a popular term. He dry snitched. And Adam Silver don't have any grapefruits. Thank you, Vince McMahon. Anyway, and he made that happen. He made that. Adam Silver should be credited with the Finals MVP for 2016 because he made it happen for Cleveland. He wanted Cleveland to win the championship. I swear to God, he did. Dear gosh. I mean, you talk about the yin and the yang. The yin and the yin and the yang was Adam Silver and LeBron James. Okay? Now, Flacco has a legitimate chance. Legitimate. I'll say it. Legitimate. If he gets past Houston, which I hope he don't. It's actually a legitimate chance because he is carrying that team to relevance. Not Deshaun Watson. And then on the right side of this picture, you got the eyes of a cheater. With those I want to cuss, but I'm not going to. With those crocodile tears. Really? And those are crocodile tears, and y'all know it. But yet, they let it go. And so am I. What is more important for Cleveland? How about putting some food inside of the Greyhound station in Cleveland? How about that? How about cleaning up your city? How about that? How about the Guardians return? How about the Guardians returning to being the Cleveland Indians? How about that? Huh? What is more important? What is more important for Cleveland? How about any of those things? Huh? How about any of those? Doggone it. How about actually doing something for the city that ain't got LeBron's name on it? Oops. Did I say that aloud? Did I actually say that aloud? Yes, I said it aloud, and I mean every word of it. How about doing something for the city of Cleveland that ain't got LeBron's name on it? How do you like them apples? How about doing something for your city? How about doing something for your sports fans? And yes, there are sports fans in Cleveland. Cleveland that actually deserve better. Something where you don't have to put LeBron James's name on it. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but I don't care. It goes like this. The legacy of the Cleveland Cavaliers is Craig Elo. Not LeBron James, not Kyrie Irving, but Craig Elo. I'll go one step further. The legacy of the Cleveland Cavaliers is Wayne Embry. Y'all should know who Wayne Embry is. You want to know the real legacy of the Cleveland Cavaliers? A legacy that people ain't going to like when I say it? How about Mark Price? How about Kenny Carr? How about Joe Tate? Long time radio play-by-play. Rest in peace, Joe Tate of the Cleveland Cavaliers. How about that? How about that for a legacy? How about Jim Donovan? Longtime voice of the Cleveland Browns. Matter of fact, let me look up something about a little live time research here. My favorite call. My favorite call from Jim Donovan, who was with NBC Sports for the longest time, came in 2002. How about that? What's bigger for Cleveland? You know what's real big for Cleveland? Actually having fans that actually rewarding the fans that care. How about that? How about the Cleveland Browns actually doing something? How about that? Huh? How about actually caring about your fans and the players within? How about that? Huh? How's that for something big? How's that for what's bigger? A Flacco Super Bowl or a LeBron James championship? Who cares about LeBron, man? Who cares? I said it, and I mean every word of it. Who cares? LeBron is not the legacy of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay? Though I did mention Jim Donovan, though I did mention the Cleveland Browns, and this is my favorite call from Jim Donovan, courtesy of Fox and the Browns Radio Network.
Second down, they give it to Green. Green stutter step, he's through. First down, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Run, William, run. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
We've been waiting for it to break the big one, but he saved it for the right time.
Run, William, run. As called by Jim Donovan, longtime voice of the Cleveland Browns. Here it is again.
Second down, they give it to Green. Green stutter step, he's through. First down, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Run, William, run. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Run, William, run. There's your answer. And that should answer any other question you should have about the city of Cleveland and the teams within. So you got to return the Guardians to being the Cleveland Indians. All right? Erase everything about LeBron from the history books, which I know is not going to happen. And then cheer on the Browns. You actually have a team that wants to compete for a championship. That ain't cheating to do it. Just like LeBron did on his family. Oh, did I say that aloud? Now shut up, Brownsexuals.
In a world where logic and sense flies completely out the window, while purple and yellow glasses are donned, rises a figure who encourages ridiculous, undying loyalty. Good Lord, I'm about to throw up. This has been yet another installment of The Brownsexual Confessions.
Phew. Well, I hope you all enjoyed today's show. Got a lot coming up here very soon. Want to advertise with us? Hit the email, snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com, or call 317-762-8567. Women's basketball tonight, Iowa at Purdue. 7:30 is the stream time. 8 o'clock is the tip time. And, of course, we got the Browns and the Texans Saturday at 4. We just might have a bonus game for football on Sunday. And it's probably going to be Pittsburgh and Buffalo at 1 p.m., though the Packers and Cowboys interest me, but not so much. Oh, man. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Had fun today. Thank you, Cole Johnson, my executive producer. Our associate producers are Victor Locke and Shane Lake. And thank you to everyone that has tuned us in. Until tomorrow, when we have the Cool and Coach Hour, have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope y'all are too. God bless you, everybody. See you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.